What is going on? Welcome to another Saturday live stream. Today, I've got some really exciting stuff for you. It's going to actually blow your mind, and we're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another Saturday live stream. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube-related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. As always, with that out of the way, I want to jump into the chat real quick and just give some shout-outs to some people that are hopping in the chat. I want to say what's going on to Doug Hewson, who is moderating the chat today. Bada Games, what is going on? Nice to see you in here as well. Ravi Rajan, nice to see you. LT Ash, what is going on? Deadpool. Oh, do we have a Deadpool in the house? Very cool. So nice to see you guys. You know what? I want to get right into this because today I have a very special guest. I know you've seen the thumbnail. That's why a lot of you guys are coming in here right now. I know you've seen the thumbnail. You're probably, I don't know if you're more pumped up about this than I am or not. I think that I'm actually probably more pumped up than everybody in the stream to have this guest come on here today because this guest is somebody that basically changed the game as far as how people learn things on YouTube. He is an expert video marketer. He is an expert marketer. He is an expert YouTuber. He works with some of the top channels on YouTube. You guys all know his name. As I'm setting up this graphic here, I'm keeping this thing going just a little bit longer as I push this through to get this graphic in place so that I can bring this in appropriately. And let's see here. There we go. All right. And I'm just going to bump this into place as we go. So for this, I want to go ahead and I want to introduce you guys. If you've never met this guy before, you've never seen this guy before, you've never learned anything from this guy before, your mind is about to be absolutely blown to bits. Derral Eves is in the house. Derral Eves, what is going on, my friend? I'm doing fantastic. I can tell you what, man. There's like on Twitter, on Facebook messages, on emails, right? As soon as I said, I put out the thumbnail this morning, I said, hey, Derral Eves is going to be on my stream today. And I started getting emails, really? Darrell's going to be on your stream today? So people are pumped to have you on the stream here today. Absolutely. The really cool thing, Derral, about this community here that's around my channel is a lot of people actually come here every single Saturday. Like when I'm over in Thailand, yeah, it is. It's fantastic, man. And like when I'm over in Thailand, right, I usually stream where it's in the morning here. And some people are actually replacing morning cartoons with coming into the live stream, which is, yeah, at least that's the feedback I get. I don't know if it's legit, but that's at least what they're telling me. So that is pretty cool. So Derral, man, how are things going with you? Absolutely. You can share anything you like, man. The mic is yours. Nice. Nice. That is absolutely amazing. Can you say that one more time for me, Derral? Because
24 billion video views.
Wow. So
billion with a B.
So what he was saying right there is because I got a little bit of feedback there in the chat that the mic couldn't be heard, but basically what Derral just said there is they're getting 24 billion, right? Is that right? Is that the right number with a B?
Yep, that is the number. 24 billion.
24 billion video views. That's absolutely incredible. So you know what? I'm actually getting more feedback saying that they can't hear you. No audio on you. No audio on you.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, you're coming through my system, and apparently you're coming through the stream. But, okay, there we go. Yeah, Derral is live. Now we can hear. Okay.
How about this, guys?
Microphone
here
check.
We go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, we got it.
All right, fantastic. All right, so we're going to restart that part right there. Derral was basically just saying a huge milestone that he crossed. So, Derral, could you revisit that for me real quick? I'm
just joking. I had to do that.
Oh, my God.
Audio.
Seriously, man. Yeah, I almost
sorry,
fainted.
but
That was epic. Thank you for that. I was in my head.
so,
Yeah, in my head,
I don't even
everything
know
was
if I'm
just
saying
dissolving.
anything, but anyway,
Oh, that was
I know
great.
I just say we hit a milestone. We've been on YouTube since 2005. I own a company. We work with some of the top brands and YouTube channels, and then also we own quite a few YouTube channels. We own 17, and we just crossed a milestone just a couple weeks ago, which is 24 billion video views. But the crazy thing about it was that between all the channels that we manage and that we work with and our own channels, we're getting about 1 billion a month, and I'm ecstatic. I mean, that's just crazy numbers. And the great thing about it is a lot of people says, "Oh, YouTube's dying." I want to say it contrary, man. YouTube's just about to hit its prime, and what that means is we have a lot of opportunity, especially in emerging countries. There's a lot of opportunity there, and I'm just kind of glad to be here, man.
That's fantastic. And you're talking about emerging countries and the opportunity there. I can tell you this, man. Like living over in Thailand, right? Like the income and the things that people can actually get over there, as far as the general population are concerned, is low. But let me tell you this: you can go to a farmer's market, right, to where they make like $300 or $400 for the entire month, and they're sitting there on smartphones watching YouTube. Right. So I mean,
Yeah.
as far as the the spread of YouTube going out into the world, I mean, it's absolutely incredible the reach it's going to have. And in my opinion, man, like all this instant technology stuff that they're rolling out, what do you think? Or not technology, instant translation stuff that they're
Yeah,
rolling
it's
out and they're working on.
crazy.
I mean, it's gonna completely open that can of worms to where we're going to be able
No,
to just go back
here's
and forth.
here's what's really, really interesting, and I didn't know this. I mean, I claim that I know a lot about YouTube, but I really didn't know the initiatives that YouTube is actually offering worldwide. I was actually talking to one of the uppity ups. He's like number 4 at YouTube just a couple months ago. We had a private conversation, and he was telling me what they're actually doing and actually supporting the creator community worldwide. And so give you an idea. So like they were going into Malaysia, even Thailand, and a few other places like that, and they'd go out and find content creators and pay their salary for a year to create content. And then 2, they would go to universities and educators and get them to start paying them like 4 times, 10 times the amount of money that they would make or whatever in that country to make some amazing content. And the crazy thing from that is they call it a seeding campaign, that they have been able to explode in that area because they get the right type of content creators that started to really localize their views and so on, and it really blossomed where these people actually have a different living now, that they can actually afford to do it for a year because YouTube picked up the bill, but after that they're self-sustaining. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, and that also shows, as far as people saying YouTube's dead, YouTube's dying, and all that, that also goes to show that YouTube is putting tons of effort into making sure that does not happen, making sure that they stay dominant in the in the video in the video space, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the thing about it is, yes, there's issues, yes, there's problems, but here's the thing. At the end of the day, there's really not a platform out there that's going to give you money and partner with you for ads. Now, I know they say, "Oh, Facebook does it." Well, I have a couple of clients that actually gets monetization on Facebook, and it's next to impossible to get that. They're not really scaling it out. And they've literally put the brakes on, and it's just a mess. And then 2, Twitter, there's, I have clients and myself that have never received any income from Twitter, which is crazy, where they said that, "Hey, we got this," but we've never seen a check. And so ultimately at the end of the day, there's really not that option. So, YouTube's it. And I can't wait till there's another opportunity out there, because it's just going to make the community a lot better. And I really think it's going to make YouTube a lot better as well.
Absolutely. And with all of that data that you have, right? Because all of us that are trying to help people do things on YouTube and all that stuff, like we all have data that we work with because we all get, our clients and things like that. And that gives us access to more data so we can get more knowledge and all that stuff. With the amount of views and stuff that you're pulling in, I mean, the data set that you have, I mean, I mean, that's absolutely incredible. I'm sure you're like a kid in a candy store with that. But what are some things what are some power tips, for the people that are watching the video right now? Like what are some power tips that you can give to people. You know, it doesn't matter if they're gonna upload their first video tomorrow, or if they've got 500,000 or 1 million subscribers already. What are some power tips to really help people get some momentum and some traction here on YouTube?
I think the biggest thing, and you preach this quite well just with your background, but a thumbnail. I mean, I would spend 2 times, 3 times, 4 times more time creating that thumbnail because of the way that YouTube's learning about your content, learning about your channel. I would spend more time on getting the right title and understanding who's actually watching your videos, not who you perceive is watching your videos, but really understanding the data behind who's actually watching your videos. And I would say that alone, by those 2 things and understanding the dynamics of the algorithm or the machine learning that happens on YouTube, that's how we were able to capitalize on so many views, is because we understand what it wants and we feed it what it wants. And you got to look at it is if people are on mobile, which 80% or more generally are on a channel, there's some older audience channels that are not, and they kind of move past your content without it being clicked on. YouTube's making a note of that, and so you got to do whatever you can, not clickbait, but make clickable titles and clickable thumbnails, which is a very, very important part of the ecosystem. And that's something that everyone can do. And I've seen where we put that one strategy and we get 10 times the amount of views is just by changing the thumbnails. And I mean, it's crazy. Nothing else, just the thumbnails itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I always mention to people is that's the first point of contact. It's that thumbnail and that title is the first point of contact between a new viewer and your content. And if you can't win them, if you can't win that click on the thumbnail, then you're dead in the water. Because then if you're not getting those clicks, you get demoted and all that stuff. So it kind of makes it to where it's like, like, why are you even putting up video? Like, if you're trying to get traction, like, why are you even putting up videos if you're not going to put that time into your thumbnails? You know, like, for that, out of curiosity, because I know me personally, I use the TubeBuddy A/B testing feature, and I'm always recommending to people, hey, use that so you can get real data behind it. Because we all think, hey, my thumbnails look great. Hey, this color scheme is great. This particular emotion seems to grab a lot of attention. But until you actually get real data, behind what it is that you think, like you were saying before, it's kind of difficult to make any real decisions off of that. I personally recommend them for the A/B testing. Do you use them for that, or do you have another method of doing it?
Yeah, for me, we do
27
uploads a day, so it's kind of hard to, split test everything.
Sure.
But if it is our hero video, absolutely. We actually tested a different way, get some other data to see what's clickable. For you guys that want to know, we actually do Facebook ads and see which one has the highest click-through rate. And, that's kind of where we do our testing. Then YouTube internally has their own A/B testing, but you have to be on the beta for that. And there's, I think, only 10 channels that have that. And I got 2 clients that have it. So, listen, at the end of the day, I think TubeBuddy's great. I think that's a great option. I wouldn't necessarily spend a lot of time on every thumbnail. I would spend time on your video that you put a lot of time and effort and split test that. Or if you have some idle time, going back and seeing if you can get a bump based off of changing the thumbnail. And we do that quite a bit from there. But at the end of the day, when you truly know your audience, Nick, you'll know what they'll gravitate towards. You do it enough. There's some channels that we have like 3,000 videos that we uploaded. That's 3,000 freaking thumbnails. And, we know that audience. We know, which titles and thumbnails work. And we have a good idea of what they're looking for based on, number 1, the demographics, number 2, where they're actually coming from in the world, number 3, the data that we actually have on the channel itself.
Nice. That's a lot of thumbnails on one channel. Holy cow!
Oh my! Yeah. I'm exhausted even thinking about it.
I bet. Yeah, I'm thinking of the process of actually making all of those thumbnails. Holy cow! So at the everybody in the chat right now, everybody that watches my videos, everybody that watches my live streams, they know that I'm here and going to Vid Summit. And one of the things that in case you don't know in the chat, Vid Summit is actually Derral's event. And for those in the chat, at Vid Summit, because we're talking about thumbnails, One of the guests that you're having there is actually, they're taking all of this data from their thumbnails and they're actually doing an entire presentation on basically thumbnails that work, right?
Yeah, and they get 90 million views a month.
Nice.
So I would say they know what they're talking about. And it is the main segment. They're actually my favorite thumbnail producer for the type of content that they do. And so, I reached out to them, we're friends, and I'm like, hey, I gotta have you guys here. And for anybody that follows Team Edge or Matthias, it's that team that's coming. And Joey, J-Fred, is the one that's actually doing that presentation, which he is remarkable on it. So
nice. So on Vid Summit, just to go ahead and start walking down that path, in addition to what's going on here on YouTube, you're also covering other aspects of social media. You have guests coming basically from all over the place with a bunch of power hitters, actually, not just a power hitter, but you have your lineup is absolutely there's so many different reasons that I'm going to Vid Summit, and like we've talked about previously, I'm going to the other side of the world.
Wait, whoa. The main reason is so we can meet in person, IRL, right? And then we can actually do dinner, right?
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you had your priorities straight there, my friend.
Right. Well, I said there's a bunch of reasons, right? That's definitely
I
up
said
there.
The main reason. Come on.
But go ahead and give us a rundown. Say that again.
I just threw you off your thought, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay. That's the fun thing about live streams, Like sometimes on these live streams, man, like I'll be going and then just completely trail off and then just completely forget what I'm saying and then have to bring it all back. It's a good time. That's the fun of live, right?
That's right.
But yeah, with the guests that you're having on, I mean, you got Gary Vee, you've got you, right? Yeah. You got you sharing the information that you have from all of the data that you have.
Yeah, and I think my favorite is definitely Matt Gillian. I learned so much from that guy, and we kind of are sponges. Oh, what's working here? What's working there? I give him tips. He gives me tips. Really, really smart people that are coming, but there's people that you've never heard of. And there's this comment that was in one of the Facebook groups. It's like, oh, why don't you get the guy from Six Pack Abs or whatever? And these people, I'm like, those are the people that usually speak at these types of conferences, and they'll tell you, oh, this is here's my story. I don't want the story. I could care less about the story. What I want is what works now and prove it to me that it works. Give me the case study, tell me what your thought process was, what worked, what didn't work, and what you do better to do it. And that's the people that we have coming. And we have the CMO from Tilly's, which is a huge, their ad spend is just crazy. And we have different content creators and different marketers and, cross-platform from Snapchat to Instagram to Facebook. This one lady, she grew it's 2 million Facebook likes just overnight, in a month and a half. It's just crazy.
Wow.
And she's basically has a strategy of what they're doing. Steven Scherer started his channel at the beginning of the year. He has now almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's basically talking about. I'm probably the most excited about because I've been working with these guys a little bit, but he's talking about how they look at trends and translate that into content and how they're able just to really, really take it off. Just explode.
Nice. And with Peter McKinnon, he's there, right? Peter McKinnon is also there. I'm a huge fan of that guy, man.
Yeah.
Huge fan of that guy. And one thing I want to mention too is, when people are trying to grow their YouTube channels, a lot of people are thinking YouTube only. But, from your experience, you can grow YouTube also from pushing traffic from the outside in, right?
Absolutely.
What advice do you have on that for people in the chat?
Everyone get to know Reddit. That's the only platform out there that doesn't penalize you for pushing traffic to YouTube. There's some other stuff. You can do stuff with live, but the reality, Reddit is, if you understand Reddit, I've been on Reddit for 11 years now. And I've no, totally. That's when they started. And the whole thing about it is I give them money every year for their server time, my server time that, blah, blah, blah. I have multiple accounts. Well, I'm not supposed to say that. I have an account that's me. And, it's understanding the ecosystem there is a really, really big thing. And I've seen I made a post, I don't know, this time last year. No, I guess last March. And what the crazy thing was is we got 12 million views off that Reddit post in the first 12 hours. So that's 1 million views an hour coming off of that. And it was 100% on Reddit.
Nice.
So definitely understand Reddit.
Nice. What about one thing people ask me about a lot, and I don't have a lot of Facebook experience. So one thing, like that's one thing that I'm transitioning into in 2018 personally. But for people trying to push traffic from Facebook itself, do you have any tips for that to pull that traffic back into YouTube? Don't do it.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Okay,
it's
great
impossible.
advice.
I mean, here's the thing: it's YouTube and Facebook are at war, and they don't want you to leave the platform. They're penalizing you for leave the platform on YouTube or on Facebook, right? And at the end of the day, you're far better to do a teaser on Facebook and have the link. But if you literally put the link from YouTube in there and it brings the browser in, that view will not count on YouTube. I've tested that out. I mean, with real-time analytics, I've literally had 100 people watch it and it didn't even record one view. And so it's like that is not translating over. And two, you're not sending traffic off of Facebook, because what happens is Facebook dampens your post, so it only goes out to maybe 5 people when it could have went out to 30,000, right? And so no one's seeing it if you put YouTube in the post itself or include a YouTube video. So what we found is upload natively to Facebook. And if you want to do something, you can do it after your viral push and then put a link in there, or you can put it in the first comment and pin it to the top.
Nice. So real quick, I want to jump into the chat. I want to say thank you to the Pearson Experience for your $20 super chat. Very much appreciated. And I'm glad you're finding value here. Super chat. I also, there's also, because, we're talking about Vid Summit here too. We're talking about YouTube tips. We're talking about Vid Summit. We've got E for Electric in the house. He's going to Vid Summit. We've got Creator Fundamentals. He's going to Vid Summit. We got, I think Gord was in here earlier. He's going to Vid Summit. I know Brian T. Johnson's going to Vid Summit. Owen, Roberto, like everybody is going to Vid Summit. Now, one thing that I want to bring up is there's something special that you're doing this year with Vid Summit. Can you lay that on us? Because we were the other day, just for everybody in the chat, just so you know what's going on here. Like the other day, we were on a podcast with Owen Video, and Derral broke this on Owen's podcast, the Business of Video podcast that we do every Wednesday on Facebook at 9 a.m. And when he broke this, it was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, this is available now? So let us know what's going on there with that.
There's a lot that I broke. I can't really remember. I'll be honest with you, but
yeah, I'm sure you're having a lot of conversations right now too, as far as all that's concerned. So
one that I believe I broke was I was working on a something specifically for Vid Summit that would be different than any conference. And what that was is for the audience itself, if they're really, really serious about YouTube specifically, or they have a social following, that I got them a brand deal.
Oh, nice.
They want it. They got a brand deal. I mean, right there. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts. All they have to do is submit, and it's pretty amazing. But I don't know if that's the one I was telling you.
That wasn't, but that's awesome. I just that's fantastic. But yeah, that definitely wasn't it. But the one that I'm talking about is the live. Like the live stuff, because basically like you were waiting for them to finish up the release for it and to actually put it on the page during the show. So when it came on the show, it was like
yeah, so basically we had a lot of people reach out, says, hey, you had some that was sold out, or we can't make it, we're halfway around the world, and we'd love to experience the event. And we worked really hard because, just technically trying to pull off, 48 presentations and have that, 3 at a time, being streamed was very difficult. So we actually pulled it together. We partnered up with some really amazing companies, and we are live streaming the Vid Summit. And you can literally watch it like you are going to the Vid Summit, and then there's access to the replays. It's really amazing. And what I'm mostly excited about it is those that really want to watch Vid Summit in your underwear, you can do it.
And nobody will judge you. Yeah, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like sometimes you just don't want to leave the house. Sometimes, it's like, hey, I'd love to go to that conference, but I prefer to be in my underwear. Right. So yeah,
That's
I think that's a great solution for that. So for the live access for that, you can actually, I've got a link to that down in the description below right now. So you should definitely click on that link right now and go over and check out the information on that. And don't even check it out. Like, get signed up, because the stuff that you're going to learn there, like, one thing, Derral, and real quick, I want to say also Professor Nez is in the house, and Dale Roberts, and both of those guys are also going to Vid Summit as
sweet.
well. Yeah, we're rolling hard into
You're
Vid
rolling.
Summit. Yeah. But one thing that I always try to tell people, I actually tried to really highlight it, and it was one of the last few videos that I uploaded, was the importance of educating yourself. Like, if you're trying to do something, if it's YouTube, if it's anything, if you're trying to learn how to fly drones, if you're trying to do YouTube, if you're trying to, work on your marriage, whatever, it's educating yourself and learning, how to do things in order to give yourself the advantage. Right. Instead of, having to go through all these learning curves and try to dig up all of this information and all of that. Like, when you can educate yourself and you can find a source and you can say, okay, I'm going to watch all this. And then by watching this, I'm going to massively cut down on the learning curve required to understand how to do all this stuff.
And I think it's really important, because we didn't really discuss the whole purpose of the Vid Summit. The whole reason why I started it 4 years ago was I wanted to learn from the best in the world. And like I said, you might not know some of these people, you might not have ever heard of them, but I personally vet who's on stage. The second thing is, there's conferences out there like VidCon, which I love. I love VidCon. There's an energy, there's a community there. I love Playlist Live. They're all about the fans connecting with the creators. We could care less about the fan experience. What we want to do is make money, and it's all about the business side. So Vid Summit is 100% business side. How do we grow an audience? How do we monetize an audience? How do we actually get multiple streams of income? How do we actually create a brand that's off of YouTube that can outlast our channel? How can we actually leverage Amazon? How can we leverage email and other affiliate programs that we're able to really make money? Because at the end of the day, if you can't make money, you can't be self-sustaining. You can't do it forever. You can't do it until you want to do something else. Basically, money and this opportunity, seeing it as a business is really important. So that's why we have content creators that are serious about that view this as a business. And then we have agencies and brands, and also, those that support content creators coming together. And one thing that I want to let you know, who's in the audience, we have over 120 people that have 1 million plus subscribers in the audience. That's 120 different people. Okay, that's crazy numbers here.
Yeah.
The second thing is, we have people from Red Bull, we have people from Netflix, buying agent from Netflix, we have YouTube employees, we have, the list literally goes on. And the whole reason why they're coming is because it's this opportunity to say, hey, this is the business side. This is how we actually scale a business. This is how we grow a business. This is how we build an empire from this opportunity that we call video marketing, video creation.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, headphones, these cost money, microphones cost money, camera equipment, all of this stuff costs money. So, like, if you have a YouTube channel, and I know a lot of people, they have channels, and they're like, hey, what, I get this question all the time in my live streams. People are like, hey, I want to go full time on YouTube. How do I do it? Right. Well, you do it by learning the things that you need to do, and learning exactly the things that you need to get in place in order to make that happen. And you do that by going to Vid Summit and things like that, or going and watching the replays, or not the replays, but going and watching the live streams and actually being a part of that information for what's happening right now, for what's being shared, because that's what's most important, really. I mean, out of all of it, it's like information is being shared about what's going on right now, not stuff that worked a year ago, not stuff that worked 2 weeks ago. Like, this is what's going on right now.
Yeah, and I love it because just because of the people that get there, they're willing to be open to share. A lot of people are like, oh, no, this is my knowledge. I'm not going to share with anybody. And they're going to share a lot more than any other creator just because of the culture that we've created at Vid Summit. And I'm open, and I'll tell you, my policy is I don't share anything that's working until 6 months after the fact. That's just the way I have a 6-month advantage with it's there. There's a couple things that I'm presenting at the Vid Summit that have never been heard before, ever. And I do that every year because I know I'm already 6 to 8 months ahead of where I'm talking. and we're already moving in a direction that makes sense. And so the thing for me is it's cutting edge. A lot of people don't even know about it. People don't even know about deterioration rate. Like I was the first one to really start talking about deterioration rate of, your suggested videos and the videos that you upload, and really break it down on the science and methodology of what YouTube's actually looking at. And so at the end of the day, you have people like myself and others that see a lot of data, that's able to interpret a lot of data and get that across to you, and you can make the decisions to go from there. And I know a couple people that have come last year that had 1,000 subscribers. Now they have 800,000 subscribers. They're getting about 60 million video views a month.
Nice.
And that's what they said is Vid Summit, that experience created that element at really understanding, hey, these are people that are talking about it, and the discussion after the presentations where they're able to fill in some of the holes or ask additional questions was priceless.
Yeah, and something I really want to pull from that is you mentioned science and methodology. It's not stuff you're making up. It's not stuff that you think, hey, I think this might work. Hey, I think, hey, if I do this might generate some results. This is stuff that, for everybody, stuff that everybody's sharing there. It's stuff that is proven time and time again. This is the breakdown of how this stuff actually works and how you can apply it to what it is that you are doing to actually get the results that you're after, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent stuff. So I want to go to the chat, because I know there's a lot of people in here that, you're like a superstar, right? To some of the people in the chat, as far as like, hey,
come on now.
Hey man, I'm just saying, it's like, hey, oh my God, Derral Eves, right? So I'm honored. And, I mentioned this on the Business of Video podcast as well. I also mentioned this, I believe, in my 50,000 subscriber video or live stream or something. But Derral is actually the guy that got me fired up on YouTube, because I was just making videos, right, and just not really taking it seriously. But working with Derral a little bit got me just fired up and just lit the fire. And now the good that he's done is now rippling through me, which helps me help other people. It's just an amazing thing. So I just want to publicly thank Derral on my channel for doing that, because it's made a huge impact on me. So I want to go to the chat and see what kind of questions you guys have. So go ahead and start dropping some questions for Derral. Anything you want to know about YouTube, anything you want to know about Vid Summit, go ahead and start dropping some questions here for Derral. And real quick, I also want to say, if you have not yet, make sure that you check out the information for the live Vid Summit down in the description below. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can definitely go and check it out. Watch the Vid Summit as it's actually taking place. Go and check that link out while we're waiting for this. Okay, so Tracking Weather asks, can a style and consistent fonts be a type of branding? Derral Eves.
Absolutely. I mean, branding guides are critical. I did it, like my background, I'm a graphic designer and also a web programmer. And I worked for a regional hospital way back when in the 1999, and their branding guide was like 200 pages, like how it's supposed to look in an ad, like in a newspaper, how it's supposed to look in a magazine, how it's supposed to look, the colors and fonts and all that other stuff. And literally they had examples of that. And with the science behind it, the more that you can create familiarity with your content, it does something to human nature. It's really weird. There's a sense of, oh, okay, if they have a good feeling about Nick Nimmin and they see Nick's picture kind of around a card or something, they're like, hey, yeah, it's Nick again. I got to watch that video. And so there's a way to engage. The way that I like it is you can create blindness on YouTube in a positive way. And so if you're able to have a certain style and it's easy to have your eye pull in, and you're either swiping through or looking on the desktop, you're able to just kind of pull in that type of content, and you're able to see it because of that branding that's there. So if you own like 10 spaces out of the 20, then you're able to say, okay, your eyes more gravitated to that type of content.
Yeah, excellent answer. And to expand on that, I also want to say you can download PDFs of the Army branding requirements. Holy cow. The U.S. Army, their branding requirements, that's an awesome PDF. And the same exact thing, it goes through, like the kerning on the letters. And, it just very to the point stuff to make sure that familiarity is there. Next question we have, Professor Nez, does it hurt your channel to have external links in the description?
Okay, so So they do modify quite a few things and give some penalization and priority to things. They realize that you're going to have external links, and at the end of the day, it's the click-through rate. I would not push an external link in a description or a video unless it makes sense. Because what you're doing, and if you do it consistently, if you do it every video, you're saying, hey, go to my website. Well, just realize you're not going to grow very fast on YouTube because you keep on sending people off of YouTube. What YouTube wants is people to stay on and stay on longer. And so you're kind of counterintuitive to what they're trying to accomplish with their goals. So it's not necessarily going to hurt you, but if you call it out and say, hey, go to my website to download this free resource, and you do it every video, that's a bad thing. Now, if you make content 3 times a week, 4 times a week, if one of those videos are sending it off traffic, I think it'll be okay. But you have to just judge it. Personally, I have 7 videos that I've made that go off of YouTube, and that's all I have. And I got, library over 200. And there's other channels that all I try to do is keep them on platform, and I just try to build organically. But when it does make sense, if it's a brand deal that's paying you money, if it's an affiliate that you're able to make money, send them off.
Yeah, excellent answer. Excellent answer. One thing I mentioned too to people sometimes is like depending on what it is you're doing in your description, there's a passive way to send people off platform to the things that you're doing, and then there's the active way. And the active way is like, hey, make sure, like I was doing for Vid Summit, right? Hey, make sure you go down to the description and check on the and check on the Vid Summit live stuff, right? Like that active, hey, I'm pushing people down there and generating those session kills by doing that versus just having it down there, and then the people that are curious and want more and things like that go down there as well. Melvin Elephant, who is getting some pretty good traction on their channel right now. They say, can you ask Derral about balancing tentpole events with evergreen content? And one of the things that they do, to my understanding, is one of the things that they do on their channel, as long as I'm remembering the channel right, is they do that they basically hop on as many trends as they possibly can. So what's your advice on balancing tentpole events with evergreen content?
Okay, so this is what I would do. And I'm not just saying, hey, get the Vid Summit just because it's awesome, but the Scherer brothers, Carter and Steven Scherer, are actually talking about trends and understanding the balance. And they started in January, and now they have 428 million video views.
Wow.
They should be able to get a good qualifying answer. Now, I know you want an answer now, so I'm going to give you a brevity, brief version of it. They're going to give a 50-minute presentation on it. So I'd rather watch that personally. And I've looked through the slide. It's going to be probably one of the best presentations out there. These guys are smart. But at the end of the day, it's all about this, okay? And it all comes back down to this: there is a balance, and you need to understand how things grow and what things do. And trends are really important. If you want to grow a channel, it's about a video that grows the channel. But YouTube's about the channel. So it's like, what do you do? Well, focus in on individual content. That's why they say do tentpole or hero videos. Look for those opportunities to, get things rolling where it would be, really, really efficient for you. Let me give you an example of someone that's been to the Vid Summit 3-4 times now. Is Chad Wild Clay. And he learned something at the Vid Summit that he was able to understand some trends. And when that pineapple apple pen came out, you remember that, Nick, right?
Yeah, the guy that has like the gold outfit. Yeah.
So anyway, he did a follow-up video, a spoof parody, and he was smart and understood that was going to be a trend and people were going to take off. He was the first one to do it, and he exploded. I mean, he was like topped out, wasn't getting much traffic, and he exploded. And then he was able to capitalize on that trend. So to answer the question in short, yes, there needs to be a balance, but realize as you do other trends that are outside of your demographic, your audience changes and shifts, and you always have the audience change and shift. That's just kind of the dynamics of YouTube. People grow up, they get different interests. But at the end of the day, if your interests and your subscriber base kind of varies with the trend, that can be really damaging if it's not a trend that is appealing to your target demo. And the reason why is because the whole reason why we have subscribers is to help YouTube really define what your content is and how to find more people like it. And there's ways to. I'm showing a tactic I've never shared before at Vid Summit that I'm using TubeBuddy, and I'm doing a tactic to really engage your subscribers in a way that no one's ever seen. So I mean, it's just one of those things that you're able to do because of the tool, and it saves me a lot of time. But you have to look at, okay, is it really important for that? Is it more important to build up the subscriber base? Now, we have some channels that don't, like our subscribers, they just want the content. And then there's other channels that they're emotionally tied to the creator and they like the content. And they'll outlast any of our channels 100%. The reason why is because that human element that they're able to connect on a level that some of our channels don't do. So
yeah, excellent. Next question comes from. Oh, go ahead.
There was one question from T and Transformation. It's really important that I answer this one.
Okay.
And then we have a super chat question too. And if you do a super chat, we're answering those questions immediately for sure. T and Transformation. I just started posting to YouTube in February 2007. I don't even have 1,000 followers yet. So is Vid Summit still going to be valid for me to take a look at? So that's a hard question to answer. I don't know your commitment level. The commitment level is if you're serious about really growing and making a business, then Vid Summit's for any of those types of people. If you're just like, hey, I'm trying to figure things out, not as committed to it, I would probably just buy the replays or get the live stream, and you probably get the replays cheaper right now than when we sell the replays later, and then learn a thing or two. But it really depends on your finances. The big thing for me is you got to treat this as an investment, and if you're serious about it, then yes, I would do it.
Yeah, and by growing into a business, basically, you mean, like basically taking your YouTube channel from something that you enjoy doing, something that you're, putting content into, something that you're growing a community around, and actually turning it into something that can, at the very least, help you buy a new camera when you need it. At the very least, help you, maybe pay a car payment or help you pay your bills or something like that. Or on the other end of the spectrum, there's actually turning it into something that you can do as your actual job, which is
and the thing
awesome.
For me, when I consoled anyone, I was just at a group with Tim Schmoyer, and we broke out into different rooms, and he had
in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, he had a little private training. I went in the room and I says, look, I can evaluate your channels, or we have an hour that I can teach you how to make more money on your channel. What would you rather have? Because ultimately, you already got the information. You can get that information, but at the end of the day, if you don't make money, do it. And every one of them wanted, how to actually have a way to actually generate some income. And I specifically gave, things that work, what don't work, so they had a plan of attack. And I think that's the most important thing is you can make money. There's a lady that came to the Vid Summit last year that only has 10,000 subscribers. Now you're like, oh, 10,000, that's a lot. Well, it's not. And she's making $100,000 a month off of those 10,000 subscribers.
Nice.
And so she just has a really good niche, and it's done in a way that she's able to do it. Well, guess how old this lady is, Nick? Just take a guess.
60.
Yeah, close. 72.
Wow.
And it actually turned the corner. And like you said, hey, if it pays a little bit here, a little bit there, but think outside of ad revenue. Like literally think outside ad revenue. I have a client.
You have to. Like
seriously,
as a small channel, there's you have to think outside of ad revenue in order to actually get any type of anything off of YouTube if you're a small channel.
And I have a client that doesn't have a YouTube channel. They just have a hypothetical YouTube channel that they're pitching. They already have $1 million sponsorship.
Wow. Go Derral.
I mean,
yeah, this folks is why Derral is the man.
Well, but like for me though, it's like people, like if you can create value and you can create a plan, people will invest in you. And that's where it's at the end of the day. And ultimately, I've seen like one of my favorite stories. My favorite is you don't underestimate the power that you can wield if you put a lot of plans together. And there's a YouTuber, I'm not going to name his name. He was at a private event, and everybody's like, "Oh man, why is this weird guy kind of standing by me?" And they're kind of treating him different because they didn't recognize who he was, because he's not in any of his videos. And I can guarantee you that he had more video views in a month than all the people in that room combined.
Nice.
And the reason why is because of who, like, he does all the strategy and content, but he's not in front of the camera. But if they showed the person in front of the camera, they're like, oh, but he's the one that owns the channel. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. So when the word got out who it was, they flocked to him like, oh, we can learn something from him. But
Too
at
late
the
then.
end of the day,
Too late then. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, though, Nick, it all comes back down to this. If you have a solid plan, you set goals, and you try to refine your content. A lot of people says, "Oh, my content's so good." No, if you get drop off, data doesn't lie. Why are they dropping off? Why do you only have 15 seconds that are dropping off? You have to analyze and adjust and tweak, and really find ways to make money. And at the end of the day, there are people not cut out to create videos. It's just and maybe they're more set on helping creators. And that's something that you can learn at the Vid Summit too, is you don't have to always be in front of camera. Everybody wants to be in front of the camera, but really the people who make the most money are the ones behind the camera, and I don't mean editing. They're the ones that are the strategists. Trust me. I know this is my world.
Yeah.
And,
as a side note, what'd you say? 17 channels before? Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't do that by yourself, folks.
And I'm only in one of them, and eventually two, but it's just, yeah.
So the next question is from Intrepid Don. This is from a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, Intrepid
Super
Don.
chat.
He says, I'm currently doing 5 live streams a week plus 1 pre-recorded video. Should I change to more pre-recorded videos for the AI? Does YouTube weigh them differently? It's a sci-fi gaming channel. Excellent question.
Let me go to the channel real quick. I'm going to just pull it up real quick so I can tell them exactly. Every channel is different, but it's a gaming. Yeah. So what I would do, and your content, what you're going live, like, okay, you're set live. Okay. I was like, holy crap. So what I would do for you is you're doing about an hour 50 to 2 hour and a half gameplay. And then you're pulling out segments anywhere between 4 minutes, 38 minutes, and so on. What I would do is do the highlights of kill shots or whatever it is, and you're doing you're getting pre-recorded content or taking it out of your existing content and editing it so that it's just like the epic moments that are there, and you can go daily. And what I mean by that is maybe you do a live stream, keep your live stream schedule, but you do your pre-recorded as an additional upload for the day. And I'm here to tell you, there's nothing wrong with doing 2 uploads a day, and there's nothing wrong with doing 2 live streams a day. It's just you have to realize it's not going to have the same type of impact as your other view, or it might have more. It really depends on what your audience is looking for.
Yeah, excellent answer. And we also have Jen the Piano Girl, and Derral, man, I got to tell you this girl. Jen Adventures TV is what she actually is, the channel she's coming from, but her other channel name, the first time that I found her, it's Jen the Piano Girl. She can learn a song on piano in 10 minutes, and she can play it. She can play it.
Does she know?
And it's a masterpiece when she plays it.
Does she know my background, that the first content creators I had past 1 million subscribers is the piano guys. So Piano Girl, the Piano Guys. There we go.
Nice. But she wants you to just say hi. That's it.
Hello, Jen the Piano Girl.
See, you're a superstar.
That's even in my voice. My voice, soothing voice that says hello.
Hello. And Creator Fundamental says, looking forward to meeting both of you and turning this into a full-time business. Dan.
There we go, man.
Yeah, Dan is his name, and he's going to Vid Summit. He's already got a ticket. He's going to be like there as well. He's like another person that's going to be there at the Vid Summit as well. So he's definitely going to be on board for learning and actually learning how to turn his YouTube channel into a business as well. Excellent. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna pop down here, grab another question. Let's see here. Your volume has gone down a ton, Nick Nimmin. Maybe I'm just not speaking close enough to it right here. We have, let's see here. I'm thinking about a multiple live stream and Q&A simulcasting, which includes 3 different platforms to raise the subscriber and view counts. Is that a good idea? It's an easy one.
Wow. So the 3 different platforms are, you got to give me more information. Is it Twitch?
Yeah, specifics.
Like I can't answer that without knowing, what you're doing. So put in there real quick and we'll answer it real quick.
Okay. So in addition to that, somebody came in earlier and they're a new YouTuber, and this was just a normal question, not a super chat. But they said, I'm a new YouTuber. What tips do you have? I mean, this is the age old question, right? What tips do you have for brand new people? Because a lot of people that are a lot of people that are coming into my channel are, they're new to the platform, they're new to being a creator. What power tips do you have for people that are just starting out? One, I want to suggest, and I originally found this book via you, was reading Primal Branding and actually starting there. But in addition to that, what kind of power tip or what kind of tip do you have for people that are just starting out? Things they need to keep in mind and things like that.
Yeah, I actually do a couple weird things. The first thing I like to do is figure out what my vision, my mission is, my purpose of starting it. I like to set goals. I like to have a path of understanding. Like for me, when I started my channel, I started and I said, okay, I want 10,000 subscribers in a year. I got that in 2 months, and then I adjusted it for 30,000 subscribers, and then I got that. The momentum was there, and we were able to get that at a record time. But at the end of the day, it's like having a desire to do it and a plan to do it is a good thing. So you can't really have a plan without goals. And then from that, I love Primal Branding because it gives you some elements that you need to grow a culture and a community. If you want to get social code, that's kind of a newer version, but it's kind of smaller. I like Primal Branding better because it gives you more understanding from it across different brands. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's like consume. Now, this is what I have found a lot of content creators on YouTube don't do. They don't watch YouTube videos. They literally don't understand what's actually happening at the demographic. So what I like to do is select 20 channels that would be similar content to what you're looking to produce, and you watch those channels. You look for trends. You start to understand how they interact with the audience. You see what engages the audience, where comments go nuts, how you interact with them. You become a part of the community, and then that gives you a better pulse on the type of content that you need to create, what would resonate really well with that type of community. And that's ultimately how we've been able to grow so quick, is we identify channels that would be similar to what content we would be creating.
Yeah, and that comes down to modeling success, right? Basically, you look at the channels that are doing basically what you want to do, and you say, okay, well, what is it that they're doing? What is it that I can learn from this particular channel? Not copying them in any way, but basically saying, what is it that they're doing that I can apply to what it is that I'm doing, in order to to get better. In order to get better results that I'm currently getting. The last question that I have here, and then we're going to go into something else here. The last question I have here is from Gord Eisman. He says, Derral, is your strategy to grow a how-to channel any different now than when you started to build your own how-to channel?
Wow. Okay. This is going to be a really bad answer, and I do apologize for this. But guys, when I started, I mapped out a whole year of the type of content I was going to create because I had a plan. I wanted to get there. And it worked. It worked really well. But I want you to understand, the plan consisted of me making only designating 20 minutes a week to create that content. I don't have enough time in the day to actually produce a lot of content. And so, doing that and growing was great. I mean, I think I have 400,000 plus subscribers, probably somewhere on there. I don't know, 430 or something like that. But seriously, it's like that is something that I was very focused on. If you're doing how-to videos, it's really understanding the right titling, The discoverability is not going to be through suggested. It's going to be through search. Getting it picked up in multiple places so that it is a resource is a very, very big deal. And yeah, I definitely would change my strategy. And just to give you a little preview, I've mentioned this a couple times on my channel, but I haven't been able to get to the point where I'm able to do it. But Nick, I just hired someone to help me produce content solely for DerralEves.com and
Nice.
solely for my YouTube channel. So that, we're in a position where I'm not going to get any more times in the day, but if I have this person travel around the world with me when I go do wherever.
When you come to Thailand?
I'm telling you, like, literally invite me.
You're invited.
And I'm there, dude.
You're invited. I'll split a plane ticket for you. We're on record. I'll split a plane ticket, but I'm not first class though. Like you're rolling coach.
Listen. You don't need to split a ticket with me. All you need to do is put on an event that I can go speak at.
Okay.
And I won't charge you for it. You don't need to charge the event. Let's just do a meetup over there, and I'll make it over there because that is one of the areas to go. And I am going to China, so I'm over there like in March. Okay. So we just should probably talk. So
yeah, I would actually, because I mean that's like a hop, skip, and a jump. I would gladly come over there and hook up with you in China for sure. We can talk about that at Vid Summit. Yeah. So Derral, I want to go ahead and say again, just to go ahead and mention it here. One thing that we have been talking about, if you're just coming into the chat right now, if you are if you've been in the chat for a while, but you're trying to figure out what's going on with Vid Summit and the thing that we keep talking about there, Vid Summit is basically an event that Derral hosts. Every year. He's been doing it for the past 4 years, to where basically tons of people that are getting results on YouTube, they're getting results on social media, they come to Vid Summit and they basically share the information that has helped them get the results that they are getting on their channels, on their social media followings, and things like that. So Vid Summit is something that is normally, and it still is, it's something that is a actual live event. I'm going to that. I came from the other side of the planet. That's how important the information that's being shared there is I came from the other side of the planet to actually come to this event. But in addition to that, there is going to be a live stream, right? An actual live stream where you can actually get this information. You can educate yourself. You can invest just a little bit into what you're doing here on YouTube, to where you can actually start generating real results. You can start, learn how to generate an income from YouTube, how to get results on YouTube, how to get results all over social media, so you can grow your overall influence and presence all over the internet, so that you can have a bigger impact and a bigger audience for what it is that you're doing. So there's a link to that down in the description below. Make sure that you go down there and you click on that link and you go and check it out. Gary Vee is speaking there. If you're an entrepreneur, you're watching this, I'm sure you're familiar with who Gary Vee is.
I don't know how we're going to bleep out his swear words, guys, so I do apologize for that,
Yeah, I think
some of you guys you're very tolerant of that. And like for me, I'm like we were with Gary a couple weeks ago, and I took my daughter. My daughter's traveling with me right now, and I was like, oh. Every time he started, I was like, oh, just like.
Yeah, he's like a machine gun with the language.
But the knowledge, and one thing I love about Gary, and I really do appreciate it, is he's not like, there's a lot of people that are hype and BS. He practices what he preaches, man. I'm telling you, he's pretty impressive. And for me, when I first got to know him, I was kind of turned off because of his rhetoric a little bit, the way that his tonality and stuff like that. But when I started listening to his message, it's what millennials and the rest of the world needs. They need to wake up and stop whining and just get to work.
Yeah.
And once I was able to get past that, I'm like, hey, this guy would be an amazing resource to have at the Vid Summit. And he was gracious, like super gracious with us. I mean, he's in high demand, and I mean, he's tweeting about us. He's, making videos for us. I mean, you go to the Vid Summit website and listen to what his keynote's on and the confidence that he has. He's like, he's going to be the best keynote ever, and he is. I can guarantee it. The energy in the room is going to be solid. So,
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I'm looking forward to meeting some of these people. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to.
Brothers don't shake hands, man.
Looking forward to a hug. Yeah, looking forward to a hug. There's just so many people that I'm looking forward to. To actually sitting down and having like a face-to-face conversation with, and if I couldn't for whatever reason, if I couldn't come over here, to be here, I would go through the live outlet. Last year I couldn't make it. So what did I do? I got the
You
live
had to get the
replays. Yeah, I got the
Yeah.
live replays last year because I couldn't make it. Like, that's how important this information is, right? Like, you know, I try to share what I can, but and Derral shares on his channel, Brian shares on his channel. You know, we all share what we can on our channels. But the thing is, when you have information like this, it's structured in a way for you to where you can actually understand what it is without having to go and hunt down all this different stuff and things like that. So it's a fantastic thing that you're doing, Derral. I know that you're a busy man, especially, you know, right now. So I don't want to hold you up much longer. But I do want to say thank you so much for coming on, man. It means a lot that you came on.
Thanks, Nick.
Today. Do you actually, one more thing I want to say too, just in case anybody in the chat is not familiar with Derral, he's also doing a mentoring program. I'm not sure if you picked the winners for that yet, or if the submissions are still open.
There was a couple questions on that. Yeah.
Are you still taking submissions for that, or is that closed?
No, the submissions have closed. Okay. I do apologize for that. It's just I can only go through so many.
Sure,
and if I told you the count, it was crazy.
Oh, I bet.
But we're going through it right now.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a full-time job within itself.
Yeah, we have people designated to go through kind of my litmus test of what I'm looking for, and then narrow it down to about 100, and then I'm going to take the 100 and look at it, and make that decision. And we haven't selected yet. I'm getting Vid Summit over with. I'm going to take a deep breath because I've been working nonstop, and then I'm going to go through those 100 channels and then make my final selection on it. So
nice. So Derral Eves, any last words before we close this out?
Yeah, listen, guys, at the end of the day, I love what I do, and you got to love what you do. And when you do that, the long nights, the long edits, all the hard work, it can pay off. But I would really recommend that you guys have a goal, figure out ways to monetize. And when you're doing that, that will make your life more sustainable.
Excellent. Fantastic. And I want to say, for those of you guys that have been hanging out in the chat, this particular chat, because I'm in America right now, so this one's not going to be as long as they typically are. So I just want to thank everybody that's came into the chat, that's participated in this conversation. Derral Eves, again, I want to thank you for coming on the channel and for sharing the information that you have and sharing the information so freely. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, for everybody watching, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time.